Oh boy, what a day. So, as usual, been trying to get something done, and today is just going to be one of those days where I have to embrace the chaos. As you can see behind me, foam is falling off the wall. That was all freshly installed, so I get to try and figure out a better way to do that. I've been working on that around this room for a while now. That was one of my first goals today. I came in earlier and found all the foam on the floor. I'm only doing the doors right now because this was supposed to be a temporary space, but the main space that I'm using or expecting to use as a studio is kind of a storage room right now. I'm going to go through this kind of quick. Well, I've recorded this video a few times. It's been kind of a trying day. My main camera has failed, so I need to work on that. I had two different mic cables fail me after moving, so hopefully the sound keeps recording on this because otherwise I'm going to lose my mind. So I thought today I would just kind of give you an impromptu kind of run around some of the stuff that's in the studio. I've had a couple of people ask me about some of the guitars, which is always kind of neat. So yeah, let me get into that just really quick. That's my Schecter 5-string bass. Got that off of Craigslist a few years ago. Absolutely love that guitar. Active EQ in it. Just plays really nice. I wanted a 5-string. And it serves everything I need. I don't have to mess with it. It's solid. This is a Squier P bass that I've owned for years and years and years. An uncle gave it to me and my brother. He was trying to be in a band, had an amp, had a bass, didn't work out. He gave it to us. My brother and I also co-owned a dirt bike. My brother wanted the dirt bike. I said, fine, give me I'll take full control of the bass amp and the bass, and you can have the dirt bike. You know, pretty good deal for him. Of course, today the dirt bike doesn't exist, and I still have the bass and the amp. Those are a Taylor Classical and Steel String Academy. Those are student level guitars by Taylor. They're something like $700 a piece. Have they're acoustic electric, have the preamps in them. More importantly, they have that nice relaxed cut that you usually only see in Taylors, above $2,500. I know how many Taylors are under $2,500. Absolutely love those guitars. If you watched any of the older videos that I have, when I did the performances for the Zero Day Initiative in Austin a few years ago, that's the guitar I was playing. It's since been painted purple on the face top. I'll probably change it again here in just a little while. Ibanez Soundgear bass. Again, lower end instrument, plays beautifully once it was set up right. No complaints about that guitar. My Resonator. This is a fun guitar. It's made of bell brass, so it's heavy as all hell. I modified it, added a lace pickup. It features in a couple of the songs on Divide, as well as some of the other songs that were recorded during those sessions. I use it for a lot of atmospheric stuff. Slide guitars just sound really cool. You put a steel guitar with a slide on it, a little bit of effect and delay, and you can make some really cool atmospheric choices. Around here, around the light post, we have my Fender Aerodyne bass, Japanese made. There's some fairly famous players that play them. They're super light. The low end is really there for a bass. When you hit that E string, it really stands out. I just love the look of the instrument. I have a thing for offsets in case you didn't notice, and that bass I had to have it. Dane Electro 12-string. I bought that locally in Taylor, Texas from Karch Music. Beautiful guitar. Didn't cost me a ton of money. Surf green. Sounds really close to a Rickenbacker 12-string. That's use that on Asphyxia on Divide, as well as a song that'll be coming out here shortly called Stained Glass Heart. The frets are a little bit close together for me. Definitely made for people with smaller hands, but it does the job. My Ibanez 7-string. It's the old GAX style. Those guitars used to only come in pewter gray. I bought it off of eBay. Whoever it was had tried to refinish it, melted the old pickups, just did a nasty job to it. I refinished it, put some Wilkinson pickups in it. This was years ago. It holds up wonderfully. I think I paid $125 for it off of eBay. Wilkinson pickups, if you've never tried them, you can get a pair of Wilkinson pickups for like 30, 40 bucks. Just they're nice, raw sounding pickups. I love the way they sound. Squier Baritone Jazzmaster. Made these only for a couple of years. They sold for like $450. I put the rhythm circuit for a Jazzmaster in it. I don't know if you can really see that with the black on black. Jazzmasters typically don't have inlay like that. They usually only have dots, as you can see with my Mexican made Jazzmaster. So it was already unique. It has a very different bridge in it. Even the pickups are a little bit different than your standard Jazzmasters. These guitars go for way too much money now. They're unique. I get it. But yeah, if you look them up on Reverb, you'll be surprised to know that they sold for $450 when they originally came out. My Hagstrom 3 that says it's a Hagstrom 2. I don't know how that happened, but I can tell you for a fact a Hagstrom 2 only has 2 pickups. This one has 3. It's always had 3. Another guitar I bought from Karch Music. Yet again, Surf Green. Not sure how that happened, but I kept going back and playing it. That's a fun guitar, and I may talk about that later because you can see all the switches on it. The stuff you can do with this guitar is amazing. My Squier 2, which I've talked about in the past. My Warlock. I've had this Warlock for years. For any of you who ever saw my band Inferior Fix years and years ago, this is the same Warlock. It's gotten a different paint job, but still the same. I want to say Beast, but obviously BC Rich has another model called the Beast. It's a monster in its own right. My Fender Jazzmaster. This is a Mexican made, has a beautiful flame maple neck. I'll show it off some other time. It's a 1960s tribute, which means it has all the same problems as the 1960s. The same thing goes for this Gibson Gold Top. It's the only Gibson that I own currently. Next to it is my Schecter Tribal. I think you can kind of guess why I wanted it. If you can't, maybe you understand now. The inlay on that guitar is amazing. It has the Schecter P90s, or not Schecter, Seymour Duncan style P90s that fit in a humbucker that I mentioned before that I really, really love. I have them in my Purple Sparkle and I have a red Ibanez 6-string version that you saw, the 7-string there, that has the same pickups in it. I just love those pickups. My custom built Telecaster, as in I built it. It was a kit. I engraved all the thorns. It's got glow-in-the-dark paint. It has a hot rail in it instead of a single coil at the bridge. Super fun guitar. Of course, I built it, so maybe I'm a little biased. A vintage brand Les Paul style Lemon Drop. If you don't know about the Lemon Drop, you can easily look it up. It's a pretty well-known guitar. It currently, I believe, is owned by Kirk Hammett of Metallica, but it's gone through quite a few famous people. This is a replica. I never thought I'd own a replica, but it's a very smooth guitar, and I use it for a lot of my recordings and kind of thickening tracks in the background. Solid PAF sound. It also has Wilkinson pickups in it. My multi-scale Strandberg 7-string. It's probably the most expensive guitar I own. Over here is my custom-built Stratocaster, built like a 1960s. It's got a really super fat neck, as most kit guitars do. Bought this one from Fretwire. Added resin to the pockets. Don't know how well you can see that. It's got some sparkles, like some glitters in it. There's some gears from like craft store. I dyed the resin green because I wanted the bubbles and everything else. I thought that with the green resin, it kind of looked like swamp water. There was an area where I grew up we called the swamp that used to be a junkyard, and there was always, metal and things in the water. And it just reminded me of that. One other really cool feature has LEDs in it. Set them through a custom back panel. Couple of Seymour Duncan Black Winter pickups in it. It suffers all the problems that I've ever had with Stratocasters, which is to say I karate chop the living heck out of that volume knob all the time and have to rewire it. And finally, before my camera dies, the Purple Sparkle. This is my beast. I love this guitar. Semi-hollow. The inlay is beautiful. The binding is great. It's the only guitar I've ever blindly bought online, brand new from a factory, and just some great. It's just a great sounding guitar. I love the way it feels. It's set perfect. Um, I don't have to monkey with it, and it's an offset. One of the best things to me ever is that switch at the bottom of the guitar, because I'm not accidentally popping that switch. I grab it when I need it, and that's it. Um, some people really like having them on the upper wings or the lower wings, and I just find it to be a pain in the ass. Then again, I'm not a lead guitar player in most situations. I'm a songwriter and a singer. I get annoyed when I'm accidentally popping things that I didn't mean to. This is a fun guitar, and sadly, they're not making these anymore. This is a PS 1000 from LTD, from their X-Tone series, and yeah, these guitars are just great. This is my go-to. I would absolutely buy another one of these again. As you can see, things are still a mess. I've, like I said, recorded this video a few times. I've got more foam falling off the back wall. With any luck, next week, I'll be able to do something a little bit more productive. One can only hope, right? Until then, see you later.